I had a class to teach with Jasmine Star. I had a panic attack right before that, and my attack was so bad. I was late to teaching her class. I think I had a time mix-up, to be really honest, but right as they were trying to contact me on the phone to let me know, hey, you're supposed to be on already. So if you know me and you know my brand, you know that I am always on it, always on the go. I've been online for at least a decade, more than a decade. So it's been a few years, but the past 2 years have been really interesting for me, especially as it pertains to life and business and kind of navigating both of them. And one of the things that I went through in that time is panic attacks. I've always had anxiety, and I'm gonna share more about my journey with anxiety, because when I start talking, you'll see that I'm in my studio. So if you know me, you know that I'm a video coach or video content creation consultant. So I'm in my studio, but I'm putting my makeup on because I was going to go to the doctor, and everything is okay, thankfully, but I feel like it's the right time to just talk about the things that nobody talks about in the online space. So panic attacks, and what are they? Oh my gosh. I've been having panic attacks for a long time. I didn't know I was having panic attacks. When I finally started realizing that something was wrong, and this is not consecutively, by the way. So this video might be a bit choppy because, listen, everything is falling apart. I'm doing my makeup and I'm a bit distracted. I feel like I cannot do multiple things at one time. But also because my brain just moves really quickly while I'm speaking anyway. Bear with me, it's gonna be a good one.
I'm okay.
Okay, so panic attacks. I've been having them for a long time, but for a long time I didn't know what they were until they started happening consecutively, like every day at a specific time. That's the crazy thing. And that's when I realized that something was not right at all. And for me, it became debilitating. Like I couldn't finish my work, I couldn't record, I couldn't teach. But lots of times I actually pushed through. Like I remember I had a class to teach with Jasmine Star to her academy, the Social Curators, I think is the name of it. And I had a panic attack right before that class. I mean, Jasmine Star is huge, right? And I think for me, this was one of the more serious ones before they started all being the same, like that serious all the time. And my attack was so bad that I was late to teaching her class. I think I had a time mix-up, to be really honest, but right as they were trying to contact me on the phone to let me know, hey, you're supposed to be on already, I could not breathe. I could not get air into my body. Got the call, flipped into work mode, because while I was having the panic attack, I was thinking I had at least an hour to calm down and get myself together and gather myself to teach my class. Mind you, I'm not even thinking about my health. I'm thinking about the fact that I need to get it together to teach my class. However, when I realized that, oh my gosh, like I am late for Jasmine Star's class, I got it together and taught the class like nothing happened. And I felt better by the end of the class. So I was like, well, okay, nothing's wrong with me, I'm fine. When you are in the online space with a business, that already comes with lots of anxiety. And so on top of that anxiety, having these panic attacks, not knowing what they are, I thought I was having a stroke, I thought I was having a heart attack, I thought my health, because obviously I've gained weight during the pandemic. I thought it was something to do with my weight. So many things were going through my mind. And all that does is make you even more anxious. It makes you even more nervous. So thinking those thoughts don't help at all. Then I got COVID. Getting COVID made things worse for me. I essentially went into a shell and stayed in that state of panic all the time. Like that was my baseline. Mind you, I'm showing up on calls, I'm consulting, I'm teaching classes, I'm doing everything as normal. The only thing I was not doing as normal was being on social media, because I realized I needed to take a step back. Luckily for me, my business is fully sustainable without being on social. However, I got to a point where in my bed, while recovering from COVID, and then after having those panic attacks, because I stayed in bed for an extended time because I felt like something is wrong, and if I move around, it will go even more wrong. Before I went to the doctor, I got a therapist and started uncovering so many things during therapy. Because of all of that, I definitely just started understanding what was happening, seeing the light, doing more research, continuing therapy. I'm gonna be in therapy for a while because I started unpacking old trauma, things that I forgot about, never thought about, never processed, pushed under a rug, old trauma that has been affecting me for so many years, and I just didn't even know or notice or understand what was happening. So I'm gonna ask you to go to therapy if it's something that you've never thought about, something that you've never considered, because going to therapy is absolutely essential. Because I'll be really honest with you, so I stopped posting on social media and I stopped posting on my other YouTube channel, and I saw the other day the statistics said 180 days. And so for me, it was really interesting reading that or seeing 180 days, because I never take lots of time off of social. And even though I say I haven't been posting on social, like I have my assistant and she's consistently posting. But she's posting older content. And so it seems to my customers and clients as if I am consistent. So it seems like I'm on social all the time, but in reality, the past 3 or 4 months, I have not posted anything. The crazy thing is, when you do decide to do that, there's a certain anxiety involved in that, because we're told that we just need to go, be on social all the time. And for me, the last time I went through this was when I lost my grandmother and my aunt, and I just needed to stay away from social, but it's definitely not easy. So therapy definitely helped. Taking anxiety medication, which is something I did not want to do at all, definitely helped. So go to your doctor, talk to your psychiatrist, talk to someone and see what kind of help you can get for your panic attacks. The thing that really got me was I did not acknowledge that I was having panic attacks. I thought that I was just unhealthy. I thought that I was having a stroke, or am I going to die right now? Literally, I got to a point where every single day I was thinking I was going to die. So for me, I have a coach that I talk to weekly, and I was speaking to him, and I told him about how I was feeling. Because when you start feeling like that, you're ashamed to tell anyone. And so I told him that, and just saying it out loud made me realize how crazy the thought was. And I don't want to say crazy because I was ashamed to say it for the fear that people would think that I was crazy. And in talking to him and hearing me say it out loud, I realized I needed to see a therapist, and I needed to get to a doctor, and I needed to start being responsible and figuring things out, because a lot of the thoughts that I had was, well, I can't rip myself away from work. I have so much going on. Now, my coach usually tells me, like, XayLi, you are extraordinarily busy. Like, you're always on the go, you're always going. And I would listen to him and be like, yeah, I am.
Whatever, dude. Whatever.
But busy for the past few years in building a business also became my baseline. So it didn't feel uncomfortable. What felt uncomfortable was there was something keeping me from being as busy or as productive as I knew I could be. First of all, my busyness was suppressing something. And I've been busy for, I want to say, the past 6 years or the past 8 years. I've been on go. And I started talking to her and realizing how much trauma I've been through and how many times I had to be strong, and dismissed that trauma as just something that happened and something that I can get over. And then I started understanding why I couldn't show up for work in different spaces or different capacities. I kind of went through a space where internally I told myself that my brand could not get any bigger than it is, because internally I had alarms going off in my mind and body about, if this thing gets bigger and you have this unhealed trauma inside of you, you're gonna be in trouble. I even went as far to think that I maybe had diabetes, because I I started experiencing hypoglycemic episodes where, you know, I would be shaking or I would be dizzy. All of that was anxiety for me. So of course I'm telling you guys my story in hopes that it's gonna help someone else. And so if you've been feeling this way, don't be afraid to go to your doctor. It sounds stupid, right? Because some people are used to going to the doctor for everything. For me, my anxiety actually told me mentally, if you go to the doctor and you really find out the things that are wrong with you internally, how are we going to deal with that? Am I going to die? Are they going to give me a term or a life sentence? Also, just trauma on top of trauma. I recently lost, well, not recently, but I feel like I'm still processing it. My grandmother, and she had a heart attack that caused her to pass away. I had an aunt who was like my mother. She died of cancer pretty early. And then I had another aunt that died of cancer right after that. And then I lost my grandfather, and he died of pretty much old age, I believe. I'm not too sure because I probably never got that information or the truth about it. But essentially, I started thinking that I had some sort of thing going on inside of me with these kinds of issues because people in my family had it. And I would love to make this video longer or continue. If you feel like I should continue or continue sharing, definitely let me know down in the comments. But I kind of wanted to share with you like just what those panic attacks felt like. But I really had a hard time just processing what was actually happening until I took my medication, started taking my medication, and I started feeling like, oh my gosh, I could think and could breathe and could see things clearly. And it's crazy because my work performance never suffered. If I had a client or if I was consulting, it never suffered. And that also helped me understand that you never know what people are processing or going through on the back end. So please be kind to everyone that you meet. Please be kind. You just don't know. And I am like, oh my gosh, I'm sharing this, but I'm also sharing it just for someone that needs the permission to start taking care of yourself. And I would love to share like what self-care looks like for me now, or I definitely want to share like what I've uncovered as far as understanding what panic attacks are even more. There are so many things I want to share, things that I'm doing differently now, how serious I'm taking my practices for grounding myself and meditation and eating better. Like those things are so important. Like we take them for granted. We do them because we see other people doing them. And trust me, I had a very strong meditation practice previously, but we don't think about how like they're really important. These things are so important. And spirituality is super important. And finding yourself is so important. So many things that are so important to us. But if you want to see more about my journey with anxiety and having panic attacks, definitely let me know. Also let me know if this is something that you've gone through in your life as well. All right, guys, I love you, and I will see you in the next video.